Poland, and he approached a rabbi. I can tell you the secrets of the Illuminati. Actually, what I intend to do is to tell you how Sholem Aleichem became a great writer. And I want to let you know this in front, because you can either have this or you can have the secret of the Illuminati. Which would you prefer? Who would rather have secrets of the Illuminati? A secret of the Illuminati? Who would rather learn how Sholem Aleichem became a great writer? Well, you're both right. Who doesn't want to hear either one of those? You're in the wrong place. That's down the hall. What you want to do. Anyway. So Sholem Aleichem, the man who was to become Sholem Aleichem, went to a rabbi, of the town of Lodz, and he said, Rabbi says, I want to become a short story writer. And he says, after all, you tell everything in a parable. And what is a parable but a short story? It has all the elements of a short story, and I want to learn from you how to tell a short story. So the rabbi said, nothing could be simpler. What would you like to tell the story about? Oh, he says, I don't know anything. He says, how about, I have an idea. What about this recent thing that happened where the Pope was deciding to kick the Jews out of Rome? Oh, said the rabbi, you want to tell the story of the uprooting of the peoples and its movement across the faces of the nations of the world and their establishment in various countries. No. He says, no, I don't want to tell. He says, that would take a novel. I don't want to be a novel writer. I want to be a short story writer. Ah, says the rabbi. Then we need a gimmick. For a novel, he says, you don't need hardly anything. You can just ramble on and on and on, and nobody calls you to it. Whenever you're finished, or you feel finished with it, and you just stop writing. For a short story, he says, you have to have exactitude. Now let's see. We have the premise. The premise is the Pope decides to kick the Jews out of Rome. Then we have to have characters. All right, we have the Pope on one side. We have to have someone on the other side. We have to have a problem, and then we have to have a resolution. If possible, a punchline. Let's see now. The Pope decides to kick the Jews out of Rome. But the Jews get him to agree that if they have a confrontation, and they win this battle of theology, that the Jews don't have to leave Rome. That's great, says Sholem Aleichem. Terrific idea. Yes, says the rabbi, but the problem is nobody wants to enter a theological argument with the Pope. They don't want to go up against the Pope. The Pope is the foremost authority, religious authority in the Catholic Church. So everybody refuses. The head of the congregation refuses. The rabbi refuses. Everybody refuses to do it. Finally, a voice in the back, during this big meeting, the Jews are trying to decide what to do. Voice in the back says, if nobody else will do it, I'll do it. Everybody turns. It's Jaime Weisenheimer, the janitor, the high school, the Yeshiva University. The janitor is going to enter into a theological debate with the Pope. Moreover, not just any debate, but a silent debate, which had been decided the day before. He says, what the hell? He says, if I don't do it, nobody else will do it. If nobody else does it, we'll get kicked out of Rome anyway. I might as well try. Nobody else wants to take the responsibility for it. Who cares about me if I mess up? Of course I messed up. I'm Jaime. So the day of the great debate came, and Jaime walked up to the stairs, the bottom of the stairs, And the Pope and all of his retinue come out. They would meet face to face. The Pope gets out of his sedan chair. They're standing, he's looking up at the Pope, and the Pope's looking down, and the Pope is only 5'6". And the hush falls over the square. There's maybe 25,000 people see the debate. And the Pope says, and Jaime says, and the Pope says, and Jaime says, and the Pope pulls out an orange, and Jaime reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a piece of matzah. The Pope throws his hands in the air and says, I don't know how he did it. It's amazing. The Jews can stay in Rome, and he leaves. He goes around the corner, and right behind him are all the cardinals. He's surrounded. I said, what happened? Oh, he says, oh my God. He says, I never met a theologian like him before. Well, what happened? What happened? Well, I pointed out that God rules the entire universe. And rightly he said, yes, that's true. But the devil has been given dominion over the earth. I had to agree. And then I said, remember, God is one. And he said, you, a Catholic, so soon you forget the Son? So I pulled out an orange to show that the earth is round, and he said, yes, it's round. And he pulled out a matzah to show it's flat at the poles. I'd forgotten it was flat at the poles. I had to let them